All right, everybody, welcome back. We're going to take a look at some media and news literacy key vocabulary. Some of these key terms are very, very important when it comes to understanding the media as well as news literacy, being able to read and analyze the news in a really positive manner. So let's begin. It's really important to know that when it comes to the media and the news, freedom of speech and the press is extremely, extremely important. What we mean by that is this. The First Amendment protects an individual's right to freedom of speech and the press. These rights include the freedom to say and print your own ideas, opinions, and beliefs without being punished by the government. So it's really important to know that in the United States, because of the First Amendment to the United States Constitution, it gives people like you, me, as well as newspapers like the Boston Globe, the New York Times, the right to print whatever they want without being punished by the government. So I have the ability to express my ideas about how I feel about things, as do you. All right, next up, we have the term media or medium. Those are methods of communicating information, entertainment, or other messages to people. So when I think of a medium or I think of media, I'm thinking of things like internet, television, radio, newspapers, magazines. That's a way for information to be spread. Now, you're going to say to yourself, seems very, very similar. We're now talking about the media here. The media. The media is different. That's the sources of our news and information about current events and other issues. So that's where you're getting your information from. So if I'm interested in reading an article about what Rihanna is doing when it comes to making her new album, I might read Rolling Stone magazine because they cover entertainment, particularly music. If I want to be reading about what's happening in in the world, I might read Time magazine or the New York Times. Those are all examples of media sources out there. Next, mass media. Mass media is media that reaches a lot of people at once, as opposed to local media sources. So when I think of mass media, I might think of CNN, which is all throughout the world, the BBC, which is also all throughout the world. But on the other hand, we have local media. That's a little bit, smaller scale. They might only cover a small area. So like the Daily Item, that's based out of Lynn. They cover mostly what's happening in Lynn, Salem, Peabody, and Saugus. WCVB, they cover mostly just what's happening in the Boston area. So that's more local media. So we might be asking ourselves, well, who exactly makes up the media? Well, the media is a ton of different people. We have reporters, like you see this woman over here. We have photographers. You can see that bunch of different photographers who are taking pictures. Camera people, they're recording what's going on with the news. Writers, there's a ton of writers. Wherever you turn on, you go onto the New York Times or you go onto the Boston Globe website, you're going to see a ton of different articles. And lastly, interviewers. You can see over here an interviewer. They are asking questions to different people of importance. Now, tons of different people make up the media. It's very important to know that if you read a newspaper article or you watch a television news program, some of the people might have a bias or they might be biased. That's a prejudice where they might be in favor of or against one thing, person, or group compared with another, usually in a way considered to be unfair. So people have biases. It's preferences of one thing over another. So, for example, I love baseball. I have a bias for baseball. That's my favorite sport. My favorite team is the Boston Red Sox. Even when they lose, I still think they're the best team in Major League Baseball. And I'm like, I'm not a fan of the Yankees, for example. Next, we want to know that the media, how do they continue? How are they able to exist? Well, commercials. Commercial means the media is a business and they make money. The media makes money by selling ads and running commercials on TV. The media, we see over here with public sphere. The public sphere is an imaginary area where citizens come together to exchange opinions and ideas about what is going on in the community. So when you encounter a lot of media, we see that the public sphere is a place where people might come together to discuss it. Gatekeeper, the media decides which stories they will publish and which stories they won't. This also means they control which information is made public. The media serves as a gatekeeper, and it also explains why some TV channels, for example, might not show certain stories while others do not. So some TV stations might air some news about a particular issue, and some TV stations might avoid airing news about a particular issue. We also see that the media serves as an agenda setter. What we mean by that is that they decide which articles or topics or issues will get published, and they control what information is made to the public. The media sets the agenda of issues that they want the public, we're talking about me, you, and others, to care about. So, for example, the media might say, it's really important for us to talk about the issue of lowering taxes or maybe raising taxes. And lastly, we see that the media acts as a watchdog. Watchdog. The media keeps watch on the government and barks loudly to alert the public of any suspicious wrongdoing or any activity that might be concerning. The media, as a watchdog, exposes issues in our society that they think we should know about. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day.